new week. Big toes together, the knees are apart. Walk the hands out and away from you. On an exhale, bring your forehead down to the mat. Bring your awareness to the present moment, to the breath. And arrive. Relax the muscles of your face. Feel the tops of your feet, your shins on the mat. Press up to a tabletop and lie down on your stomach. Bring the forehead on top of the left hand. Bring the right foot in for a quad stretch. Focus on the quality of each breath, each sensation. And switch. Hold on to the left foot. Press your hips forward and down. Release. Press up to a tabletop and back to your child's pose. Prop up onto the elbows. Touch each shoulder and bring the forehead down. All right, and we hear me. Just checking. Extend your hands out in front of you. Find a tabletop. 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Press down through the tops of the feet, the front part of your hands. 2 more. Open up. Long exhale. Pull in the core. Once more. Rounded spine. Neutral. Tuck the toes and sit back onto your heels. And let's do one hand on top of each shoulder and draw circles out, back, and around. Warming up the shoulders, reverse the direction. Shake out the wrists, back to tabletop. Tap out the feet. Tuck the toes and hover your knees just an inch off the mat and shift your weight forward slightly to keep the shoulders over the wrists. Downward facing dog. Press up, press back. Pedal this out, bending one knee at a time, or you can find stillness. It's up to you. Just remember to treat each downward dog, each class, each time you are here as a new experience. Soft bend in the knees, walk to the top of the mat. And relax over the legs. Warming up your legs however you need to. Bend both knees at a time, bend one knee at a time. Bring the feet to touch and round up to standing. Palms together, reconnect to the present moment. Inhale, reach the arms wide and overhead. Let's just leave them up for a moment. Notice if you shrugged your shoulders at all and relax them down. Draw in the core and bring the elbows, the biceps back by the ears. Inhale, look up, lengthen the sides of the body, and reach. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, long flat back. From the look up position, hands down, plank pose. Option to lower your knees to the mat or chaturanga into an upward facing dog. Let's hold here. Shrug the shoulders and then unshrug them. Press into the front part of the hands. Tops of the feet press down. Someday the knees lift. No rush though. Tuck your toes, downward dog. Look between the hands, walk or hop forward, forward, fold long, exhale. Press to stand. Inhale, arms overhead for 3 breaths. Interlace the fingers, press a button on the ceiling with the index fingers out. Lift out by normal standing, bend the knees and forward fold. Halfway lift, long flat back. From the look up position, hands down and step back to plank. 1 or 2 chaturanga push-ups, elbows in close. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Long exhale. Look between the hands, walk or hop forward, forward, fold. Find more space in the entire back body. Round up to standing. Inhale, arms reach wide and overhead. 3 breaths, arms up or your first back bend. Continue to breathe. Lift out, forward fold. Inhale, long flat back. Hands down, plank pose. Vinyasa back to downward facing dog. Remember to time your exhale to match the downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the mat. Child's pose on the elbows. Extend your arms out in front of you. Walk your hands in, and we're going to thread the needle from here. So pull my wire cord microphone down. Walk the left hand forward and thread the right arm underneath, palm up. Let's start out with our forehead down, trying to level the shoulders. The fist kind of gives, I think, the right amount of space to let the shoulder cross, unless you have really big shoulders. Switch so that the right ear is down. Left hand on top, press your left elbow straight. Or try to, twisting your middle upper back. Release. Press into the left hand so you can switch. Reach the right arm forward, thread the left underneath, palm up, forehead down. Keep your thoughts present and on your breath. Switch so that your left ear is down, so we can twist the middle upper back. Press the right hand onto the left. Keep the right sit bone, hip down. And press yourself back up to a tabletop. Tuck the toes, hover the knees, and shift the weight forward just slightly, because if you're too far back, that's actually kind of good foot stretch, a little bit of leg strength. But I want to work the core and the shoulders. Downward facing dog. Look between the hands, walk or hop forward. Long exhale over the legs. Press to stand. Turn to face the long edge of your mat. Step the feet wide, toes pointing forward, hands to hips. Let's fold over separate legs. Keep the feet flat, pressing down into the outside edges of the feet. Relax the head and the neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep the right hand down and twist. The left arm open. Press the feet down. Keep the hips level. Switch, left hand down, right arm up. Right hand back down. Hands to hips to stand up. Step to the top of your mat. Feet together. Inhale, reach the arms wide and overhead for 3 breaths. Lift up so much. Lift out, forward, fold. Hands to the mat. Step the right foot back to a lunge. Feel the stretch in the back foot, launching you forward, but the knee does not go beyond the foot, the front knee. Inhale, lower the right knee, shoulders draw back. Try to press the legs straight, press through the back heel, pyramid pose. Lunge, keep the back knee lifted. Lunge twist, right hand down, left arm opens. Press down into the right with the right hand and reach really far up with the left. Left hand down. Step up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Press to stand. Arms overhead. 3 breaths. Lift out, forward, fold. Left foot back lunge. Feel the stretch in the back foot and ankle. Strong lifted leg. Soft expression. Lower the left knee. Keep the toes tucked. Just look straight ahead. Long exhale. Try to press the legs straight. Press through the back heel, long spine. Lunge. Back knee stays lifted. Lunge twist. Open up. Leave the legs where they are. Fingers spread wide. You're looking at the top thumbnail. Lower the right hand down to frame the right foot. Forward fold, top of the mat. Round up to standing. Arms above your head. 3 breaths, back bend. Your choice. Lift out and lower your hands to heart center. Face the long edge of the mat. Step your feet wide. This time heels in, toes out. One hand on top of each knee. Bend the knees, opening up the hips. Try not to round, or you're not going for a straight spine, but try not to sink in. Just everything has some energy holding you up. Let's dip the right shoulder forward, press the right knee open, left shoulder blade back. Switch sides. Come back to center. Straighten the legs, step to the top of the mat, feet together. Utkatasana to bring it all back in. Bend the knees, sit back. Hands are shoulder width above your head. You can look between the hands, or if lower is easier on the neck, focus on sitting low. Make sure you can wiggle your toes. Press to stand, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms above your head, 3 breaths. Lift out, forward fold. Halfway lift, long flat back. And from here, step back to a plank and hold. Bring the right knee into the chest, staying in a plank. And extend the right leg back. Bring the left knee in. Just hovering the knee above the mat. And plank. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog, ripple through. And let's stay here. You can untuck the toes if you'd like. And we'll dip the left hip down, look over your right shoulder. Look for the back right corner of your mat. And switch. And back to center. Open up the front of the body. Breathe in. Back to a child's pose on your elbows. Really walk them away from you. Imagine someday the armpits are flat on the mat. Whoa, that sounds hard. Extend your arms out in front of you. Tabletop, lie down on your stomach. Extend your left arm out, palm down. Roll on to the left hip. Your arm is about shoulder height. Just balance however you can for a few breaths. Switch sides. Feel the release of the right shoulder. Sorry, the left shoulder, as the right shoulder starts to receive attention. Try to make the extended hand even on the mat. It's probably leaning toward the thumb edge. Come back to your stomach. For Cobra, tops of the feet are down. Roll the shoulders back. Squeeze the legs. Press the tops of the feet down and lift up halfway using your middle upper back strength. Lower down. Locust. Feet are about hip width or closer. Arms are out, airplane wings. I like being able to do this like when we're in a not crowded room. All right, exhale almost all the air out and lift arms and legs off the mat. Flip the hands up a little bit at the wrists so you feel that kind of zing stretch through the palms and the wrists. And lower down. Press up to a tabletop. Tuck the toes and hover your knees. Shift the weight forward slightly and pull in the core. Downward facing dog. Really open up the entire back body. Find some space underneath the triceps. Press the heels down. Balance on the left foot. Lift the right leg, keeping the hips square, the foot flexed, knee pointing down, and don't let the head sneak forward. Keep it between the arms, opening up the triceps. 2 feet. Lift the left leg. Hips square, foot flexed. Two feet. Lower your knees to the mat. Child's pose on the elbows. Walk the hands even farther away. Extend your hands out in front of you, tabletop. Lower down onto your forearms. Make sure you measure the distance between your elbows by just making sure they're forearm distance apart. And right away, we're going to start to press underneath the arms, the elbows, the wrists, the palms, and do that over and over again, really engaging the entire upper body. And then we'll tuck our toes and lift up into dolphin. Keep pressing down underneath the elbows, the hands. Relax the head and the neck. Walk the feet in just a little bit and press down again. Inhale, lift onto your toes. Feel the weight shift forward. That's okay. Press into the hands and the wrists again. Engage the core. And press everything back. Press the heels down. Lower your knees to the mat. Tabletop. Tuck your toes and hover the knees. Shift the weight forward just a little bit. Down dog. Look between the hands, walk or hop forward. Padastasana from the front. Separate your feet. 2 fists width. Palms up underneath, toes to wrist creases. No, I don't want to mess up my nails. Just kidding. Not really. And lift the shoulders away from the ears. Use some arm strength to pull yourself closer to your feet. Release. Place your hands on the mat just about a foot in front of you so you can separate your feet and sit down in a squat, heels in, toes out. Bring your palms to touch. Use the elbows to keep the knees apart and don't roll in on your arches too much. Release. Place your hands on the mat just about a foot in front of you so you can separate your feet and sit down in a squat. Forward fold. Bring your palms to touch. Use the elbows to keep the knees apart. Round up to standing. Bring your palms to touch. Stand on the left foot and lift the right leg. Hug the right knee into the chest. If that's too much, just hold your knee at a right angle. Shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze, use arm strength. Let's draw a circle with the foot and the ankle in one direction and the other. Flex and point. Stand up tall. Set the right foot down. Stand on both feet. Stand now on the right one. Lift the left. Notice if your left hip came up with you or out to the side. And put that down. Shoulders away from the ears. Set the right foot down. Stand on both feet. Circles with the foot and ankle. Switch directions. Flex and point. And then stand on both feet. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. 3 breaths. Or a few more. Lift out, forward fold. Halfway lift, long flat back. And from here, hands down, plank. Lower the right knee to the mat. Kickstand the right foot out. So we're in a modified side plank. Lift your left leg up. Hold. Set the left foot down. Press into that foot. And also the right hand, bring the left arm overhead, side body stretch. Left hand back to the mat. Go back to a plank. Lower the left knee. Kickstand the foot out. Set up your modified side plank. Right arm reaches up. And then lift your right leg. Set the right foot down and then press into the foot and the left hand as the right arm reaches above your head. Right hand to the mat. Back to plank. Downward facing dog. Balance on the left foot, lift the right back up, squeeze the right glute, press into both hands, reach. Pigeon right side. Modify as needed. Get comfortable. Keep your thoughts present, keep them kind. Smooth out tension. And press yourself up into a lizard. Take your time. Transition through a lunge or kneeling lunge. And then the right arm will come around so it's inside of, both hands are inside of the right foot. And soften down. Back knee lifted will be extra. Walking your hands away from you is also extra, as long as you aren't letting the knee go beyond your ankle, the front knee. Make your way back to a kneeling lunge, setting up half split. Toe heel the right foot between the hands, and you can stay lifted on the back knee or sit all the way back onto the heel. Sole of the foot is off of the mat. Flatten out the front foot, stretching the top of the foot and your ankle. Go back to a lunge, lifting the left knee. Or three-legged dog, right foot back and up. Use all that extra space. Open up the triceps, squeeze the lifted leg strong. Downward dog. Upward facing dog to reset. Really ripple through. Downward facing dog. Left leg back, up, reach. Pigeon left side. I miss my coffee. It was a waste of a collagen scoop, too. Keep your thoughts present. Keep them kind. Relax over your front leg. Make your way into lizard lunge, moving through a kneeling lunge. Bring both hands inside of the left foot. And soften down. Remember, back knee lifted will be a little bit extra. Notice if you can relax the jaw, your temples, anywhere else. Maybe you're clenching your hands or shoulders. Notice if you can relax the jaw, your temples, anywhere else. Maybe you're clenching your hands or shoulders. And half split. Bring the left foot between the hands. Stay standing on the right knee or sit back onto the right heel. Left sole of the foot is off of your mat. Split. Bring the left foot between the hands. Stay standing on the right knee or sit back onto the right heel. Left sole of the foot is off of your mat. Flatten out your front foot. Then stretch a little bit side to side. Back to a lunge. Back to three-legged dog with your left leg up, reaching so far away. Open the triceps. Squeeze the lifted leg straight, strong. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog, ripple through. Lift the chin at the end. And back to a child's pose. Let's bring our arms by our sides this time. Palms up, let the shoulders shrug forward. Sit up on your heels. You don't have to tuck the toes. Interlace your fingers, palms together. Reach the knuckles away from you. Keep the palms sealed. Lower the chin and round your upper back. Reach the knuckles so far away. Sit up. Press the palms away from you. And then reach your arms overhead. You can keep the elbows soft. Look up. Reach up. Exhale. Sweep the arms wide and around. Tabletop. Tuck the toes, hover the knees, and shift forward. Set the knees down. Puppy pose. Walk your hands to the top of the mat, keeping the knees over the hips. You're bringing the forehead down, maybe the chin. Release all the way onto your stomach. Press up to a tabletop. Child's pose on the elbows. Sit up. Let's do tortoise pose, if I even remember what that is. So your arms are overhead. Interlace your palms are together. Hook at the thumbs. And you're going to have your head in between your arms. You're going to reach forward and down. You want your forehead on the mat, pinky side down. Wow, I should study this one again. Sit up. Stand on your knees for Camel Pose. Start with your hands on the lower back, fingertips pointing down. If the heels are really far away, you'll tuck the toes. Start out by imagining a string is attached to the sternum, lifting you straight up. The chest opens, lift the chin, the gaze. You might notice the heart rate elevating already. To add on, reach back one hand at a time. Continue to press up through the chest and go back. Lift up one hand at a time and sit back on your heels. Just sit up straight. Tabletop into a plank pose. Shift the weight forward. Keep this in the core. Downward dog. Tabletop. Lower to your forearms. Start to press down right away. Dolphin pose. Press down. Really get a strong foundation. You can even just practice holding there. When you feel ready, you're going to lift up onto your toes and press your elbows and palms away from you. Relax the head and the neck. Lift onto the toes. Feel the weight shift forward. Let the gaze go forward also, not all the way, just enough. Press down into the wrists, the palms. And press the heels back, press the elbows and hands away. Lower the knees to the mat. Tabletop. Hover the knees. Downward dog. Tabletop. Lower down to the forearms. Dolphin. Lift onto the toes. Hold. Continue to breathe. Press the heels back down. Press the elbows and hands away from you. Tabletop. Hover the knees. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog, ripple through. Back to a child's pose. Whatever you'd want to do with your arms is up to you. Sit up. Bring your feet around to one side and out in front of you. Let's lie down. Lengthen out. Untuck the shoulder blades. Palms face up. Feel the upper back, especially on the mat. Right knee into the chest. Interlace the fingers, squeeze the knee in close. And then release a little bit and then twist. Right knee across to the left. Reach the right arm out and away from you. Palm down is ideal. But if that's too much for your shoulder, you don't have to. Back to center. Reach the right leg up and away from you just for the reach. Full body stretch. Hug the left knee in. Twist. Left knee across to the right. Back to center, reach the left leg up. Full body reach. Hug both knees in. Savasana. We will close together. Shut the eyes. Relax the temples. I will be in touch. Leave the body still. Wait for the plane. Introduce a deep breath. Fill up the torso all the way. Let it go. Exhale. Blink the eyes open near the end. Feel the light. And make your way back to a seated position. Sit up tall, shoulders back and down. Gratitude for your practice. I am so lucky to share what I care about with you. Let's close with a breath. Inhale, arms reach wide and overhead. Look up, reach up. Exhale. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.